halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports.
Pulls it in at the 13. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards there on the first play from scrimmage. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Jones throw taken in by Slayton. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll try the right side here. Barkley. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one good for 37 yards. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Now Jones. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. Throwing, Jones. He finds him again, Saquon Barkley. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. From the 5-yard line, with his opening drive yield 6. This is 3rd and goal. Operating from the gun, Jones. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Yeah, it's still early in the game. No sense taking a chance on 3rd down and forcing one into traffic. So I like the wise play he made there. Get it to the sideline out of bounds where no one's going to have a chance at it.
Gano's kick is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at their own 23. A man coming off a washout 2021. It's Travis Etienne. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Giants, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. They'll run with Etienne and trying to shake free, but Etienne cannot. The defense will stop him short. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Strong start by this defense. 3rd and short, they go with a run. Stonewalled for no gain.
I played for a guy who always talked about setting tones and meeting force with force. That felt like it on that play, didn't it? And they met it in a big way and won. What a great job by the defense.
going for it. Here's Etienne. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. At first glance, I wasn't sure he got it. Then I saw that spot. Definitely a first down.
It was, but boy, on the other side, you disputed a little bit, wouldn't you? Okay, if you're playing defense, are you sure he got there? But that's why they tell you all the time, don't just get what you need, get a little bit more, and take the decision out of the hands of the officials.
Oh, there he needed a yard. He got a yard and maybe an inch. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Hey, you! Hurry up!
On play action, Lawrence. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Aaron Robinson. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. 62 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. They'll go to Barkley again. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Jones fakes the give to Barkley, and that is incomplete.
That's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through the completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Gano's kick is good, and they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach turned his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's...
And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley. His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better? Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Got it.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
23 yards, the final tally. Running out of the gun with Etienne. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. The Jaguars sitting at a very solid 4-2 record through the first 6 weeks. They come in playing pretty good football, winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory. I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because
and he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. That run going to put him over 100 yards now for the ball game as well.
Yeah, he's really had his way so far, and that's just more of the same right here. All he needs, just a little crease, and off he goes.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Let's go.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Lawrence. And that is incomplete. These 2 teams, the Jags and Giants, 2 lowest scoring teams in the NFL last year in 2021. The Jags 14.9 points a game. Giants only slightly better, 15.2. Now by comparison, you think about the Cowboys, they led the league 31.2 points per game. The pressure gets to Lawrence and he'll go down. Kayvon Thibodeau in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. They're going on 4th down. Lawrence. He'll air this one out for Kirk. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter? I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations. And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them. They did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Now on 2nd and 13. Jones.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
And the Jags are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
So that potentially an important takeaway here in this second quarter.
Because what it does is give their offense a chance to put a drive together. They've got nothing on the scoreboard so far, so you have to think that they need something before the break. And now they have an opportunity.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
But this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
On 2nd down, a run with Etienne. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 5 in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd. On 3rd down, here's Etienne. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And how about this, a fake? And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage.
I know, without even asking, without even looking in your direction, that you are not a fan of that call.
Oh, I wish you would look, Brandon, because I was actually thinking this would be the perfect time for a fake.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. This doesn't make any sense to me at all. This deep in your own territory. Look, I'm all for being unconventional.
Touchdown, Giants! Saquon Barkley on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Giants continue to pull away here in this first half.
Gano the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw here taken in by Ingram.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That one a first down pickup of 8. Now Lawrence. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Here's Lawrence to throw.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes.
Final play of the half. It's Lawrence.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants 16. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis, operating gun, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
The CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. Let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence.
Open man is Kirk, complete.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
A shotgun snap and a give to Etienne.
And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3.
Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. Now Lawrence.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Evan Ingram with touchdown number 8 on the year.
And the Jaguars are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half. Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And the lead now down to 20.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
Oh, trying to fit it into Shepard, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Andre Cisco. And the Jaguars will take over possession here up at the 44. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And, look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. Completes it to Evan Ingram. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. On the counter, ETN. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. One, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But two, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Aaron Robinson. And the Giants are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Extra point try good by Gano. And they will not have time to get another play in. Gano out to kick this one away. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew.